How's everybody doing? I'm back again. Another video, another live stream. I'm happy to be here, of course. Giving my thoughts, my preview for Club Brugge. Huge game tomorrow. Big one in the Champions League. It's a night game, of course. Afternoon for me, being over here in Florida, will be nice at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I will be at work, but don't worry. I will be watching. Just no live stream, unfortunately, for this one. Now, I want to get right into it, of course. I want to talk about it and just give my thoughts and let you guys know what I think and what's going on. So we will flip over here to the desktop view. Like I said, tomorrow, Man City, Club Brugge, we win, we advance to the playoff round. Not the knockout rounds, the playoff rounds, which is, of course, this will be the first year of the new format, new Champions League and whatnot, which is very exciting. I don't hate it like a lot of people do. I know a lot of people are not into the new format. They don't like change and whatnot. They may be stuck in their ways. But for me, I like it. It's pretty cool. I think it's interesting. I like playing, 8 different opponents or however many it is, 7 different opponents. I guess it's 8 different opponents. So I do like that. Now, again, I'm going to pull it down here, and we'll look at the table real quick so you understand how dire of a situation we are in. City win, and they're automatically going to vault themselves forward into the top 24, which is all they need for the playoffs. That is mainly because Stuttgart and PSG both play. So if we win, we'd be on 11 points. They can't both win, so they can't get past that number. They draw, it'd be 11, but we will likely have the goal difference with our win, of course. Or we will automatically have the goal difference here because we'll be either moving past 10 points with the guy that loses, or moving past the 11 where their goal difference does not move. So winning and advancing. That's what we say over here in America. Normally it's about March Madness. Win and advance, win or go home. Those are the type of sayings we use over here, which it's cool. It's kind of finally applicable for Man City here. I will pull up and see what ThoughtMob has for the predicted lineup so we can go over it and maybe see if I agree, disagree, and then I will swap tabs and go to create my own to see what I think, see if it's similar and whatnot. So for us, they've got Ederson, Guardiola, Kanji, Stones, and Lewis. Kovacic in the midfield, Grealish, Foden, De Bruyne, Savinho, and Haaland. Probably not what I would go with personally. Now, if I look over on the right-hand side here and look at Club Brugge's team, I know they're unbeaten in like 20 games, something crazy, but it's got to be a side we are looking at winning, especially at home. I know this season's been crap, and we've really struggled basically on the entire season since Rodri, of course, went down. But, I mean, I know who Jutgala is. I know who Vanaken is. But other than that, Mingale is a familiar face. Other than that, these aren't world beaters. These aren't dudes who are internationally known, really, for their performance. So it's got to be a W for me. And really, it's just to avoid the embarrassment of missing out on the first time they do this playoff stage in the Champions League. I mean, it's embarrassing to finish outside the top 24 of this league phase. There's only 36 teams or so that even qualify. You can't get in the top 24. I mean, that's poor. That's poor. I know we've had a lot of injuries, and I'm not going to be sitting here and making excuses. We're Manchester City. We have to be in the playoffs at the minimum. We've qualified for the knockouts 11 years in a row. I mean, this isn't just any other team here. This is 11 years in a row of quality in the Champions League. So, we may not win it. I don't have any, certain hopes that we're going to somehow win it. But advancing far for me is super important and something that I would be devastated tomorrow if we don't get this win and we don't advance to just give the competition a go. Because even in, we get the advancement to the next round, and we're able to register some of our new signings. So Marmouche will get his first chance playing in Champions League. It'd be really cool for him. And I want to see more Marmouche, of course, and maybe Cambiaso as well, which is something I'll talk about in just a bit here. So as far as injuries for us, unfortunately, Jeremy Doku's still injured. Seems like he's always injured. Hasn't played back-to-back full 90s for us. It's some stat I bang on about, but it's just crazy stat that the dude just can't stay fit. Seems what it is. It is what it is. Center back still injured. Nathan Ake, Ruben Dish. Got these muscle and groin injuries, respectively. And then, the early February is actually probably next week. So maybe we'll see Nathan Ake soon. And then Diaz says mid-February, which is unfortunate. Rodri, of course, out for the season. And I don't want to hear any talk about Rodri saying he's coming back and playing. No, you're not. Absolutely not. Chill. You can play next season when we're, ready to compete for things again. But there was some positive news. Oscar Bob could be back making his season debut tomorrow, which would be great. I would be thrilled if we see get an Oscar Bob a cameo in the second half. Maybe if the game is, we're 4-0 up late in the second half, we can throw him on. It's kind of low stress environment to get in to the team. If he is feeling up to it and he's healthy, I'd be looking at starting him. I think he's on par with our best wingers quality wise. The dude is very good. I know preseason is just preseason, but if we think back, he was by far our best player in preseason. And maybe that doesn't mean a whole lot because Jack Grealish was really good in preseason and he's been not so great this season. But Oscar Bob was looking pure quality preseason. I was very excited for Oscar Bob. So anyway, I will go up to the lineup builder over here, load this in. We are looking at the 4-3-3 formation. Of course, I will move my face out of the way so you guys can see. The team is interesting. There are a few positions that, for me, pick themselves. I'm not entirely sure about the defense and the midfield, but the attack feels more set as well as goalkeeper. So I will automatically throw Ederson in here because I just think he's better than Ortega, like I always say, and I just, as long as he's not mentally in a bad headspace and struggling there, he needs to play. He's just better than Ortega. You saw again against Chelsea, dude had unbelievable long balls up to Haaland, and we scored multiple goals out of that with him getting an assist as well. So the defense, the really interesting spot is right back. I think we'll be going with Mateus Nunes. That's my guess. I could be wrong because we haven't seen much of Rico lately, and Nunes has been kind of hammed out in that position. So maybe he needs a rest. I don't know. But this is a pretty important game. So for me, Nunes is better at right back than Rico probably right now. So I'd be going with Nunes. Vardiol, of course, at the left back's position. He has been probably our best player all around this season. Dude was unplayable on Saturday. I thought he was our best player. He was my man of the match by a long margin. I thought he was great. He's kind of a unicorn, the skill set that he has. So there's not a lot of people that can do what he does. So it's pretty great. I do think John Stones probably is starting based on his 45 minutes or whatever it was, 35 minutes he got against Chelsea at the weekend, and I think we are going to go with Akanji here. I guess there's a world where no, I was going to say maybe someone else. Maybe Vardiol is in a center back role if John Stones isn't ready and Rico's out on the left. But I I haven't seen any news of Stones being injured, so this is what I'm guessing they're gonna roll with. The only real option even to else to play is Rico Lewis, and he's just not breaking into the 11 for me at the moment. Midfield is interesting. I think without a doubt Kovacic will be playing, and he'll be probably in the middle, kind of the most deep of the players, while these guys seriously push up pretty significantly. KDB did not start. He came off the bench, I believe. Didn't get a ton of game time, so I mean, this is how advanced these wingbacks have been getting. The other option you have for midfield, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's going to be Grealish. I think it'll probably be Bernardo. I guess. You could go Gundogan again, but do you want a midfield three of Gundogan, Kovacic, and De Bruyne? There's not a lot of legs in that. And I know Bernardo, isn't the quickest player, but the dude, give it to him, he runs. And he was great on Saturday. So I'm going to roll with the lineup that has been the best for us, and this is what I'm gonna look at. And maybe KDB can get a little deeper and kind of link up with these two center backs and with Ederson. I think sort of as he ages, maybe getting a little deeper will be beneficial for him, and it's something that I'd probably be in favor of, even though, of course, I love it when he advances and gets up the field and is in and around this area of the box. At striker, there is no other option. Our decade-long contracted City boyhood fan, Erling Haaland, of course. I expect a big game from him. This is Champions League. The dude is on pace. He's going for the Champions League goal-scoring record that Ronaldo has. He's already got, I want to say 50, and he's maybe 120 or so off. But he's only, he's young. He's only 24. So that's what I would expect to see. On the right, again, Phil has been really cooking for us lately. He's been great, especially with Nunez at right back. Nunez has been getting really high up the pitch, and Phil can kind of cut inside and be more central, and that's helped him because he plays so well centrally. He struggles a bit out wide centrally, where Phil is where he's great. Excuse me. Thought I was going to sneeze for a second there. Out on the left, we have two options. We have Jack Grealish and we have Savinho. Savinho was somewhat poor against PSG, and he was hooked for Grealish. Grealish came on, got a goal, created the second goal. I don't know if they gave him the assist in that goal that Haaland scored, but he was instrumental in both of our two goals. Other than that, he didn't really do a lot, but I'm thinking since neither one of them played at the weekend, it'll probably be Savinho, just on probably Pep's preference, I guess. I just don't think that Pep is going to go with Grealish. As much as I'd love it to be Grealish, and I still back him, even if he's probably leaving in the summer. I just, in my head, it makes more sense for Savinho than Grealish based on all the contributing factors. I don't know how effective he has been in this role where he's out on the left and he has to cut in, being a lefty. I think he did that against Tottenham, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. But maybe this will be a bit of a shift, and he'll kind of stay out wide, and Vardiol is the one that comes inside a bit more. I'm not sure entirely, because it feels weird seeing him super central, at least to me. But and it seems, when you look at it, it's so compact there. So for me, maybe it'll look a little bit more like this. I don't know, something like that. potentially, and Bernardo's going to end up all over this pitch. His heat map after games is always insane. So yeah, that's my prediction for the lineup. I think it'll be something close to that. Maybe Grealish is in there, maybe Rico Lewis is in there. I guess maybe Ortega, but I'm all in on Ederson. Play him as much as we can while we still have him, because dude's probably leaving in the summer. And of course, reminder: none of the new signings can play until the next phase of the Champions League. So no Marmoush, unfortunately. That ends my preview. I'll finish it off with a score prediction. I think because of the magnitude of this game and how much it matters, we are going to be all out attack from the get-go. We're going to score an early goal, multiple goals early, and it's going to be a dominating game. City are maybe not back yet, but against Club Brugge at home, let's go with 4-0. 4-0, City dominate. Oscar Bob comes on late and gets a goal as well, just to get everybody really excited and hyped for his second half of the season here. Elsewhere in the Twitter sphere, there is pretty interesting developments, I would say, with our transfer window. We have Andrea Cambiaso, seemingly is the next target that we're trying to sign. Early this morning, there was reports that basically City were closing in on the deal. And then, I get really excited. But basically an hour or two later, more reports came in. It was like, whoa, chill, guys. Seemingly, like, the deal is actually well off. City had a bid rejected, and this is not happening. So I don't know what to believe. Maybe the original source was actually true, and City, talked to the journos and was like, hey, man, stop putting our information out there. You're going to kill this deal for us. So they had to spin it and say something else. Maybe that's not the case, and maybe the update was City saying, actually, guys, we're pretty far off. Maybe should change that. I don't know. I don't know how that works in the journalism world exactly, but I will pull up this, and I'll move my screen as well over here. This is a thread that I saw on Cambiaso, kind of a scouting report, just to go over the type of player we're getting or potentially getting, maybe in the summer, maybe now, hopefully now. They do, this account has, almost 5,000 followers, so I'm not super familiar with it, but I always like a scouting thread just to see what they're talking about. They call him a versatile, fearless talent who could cover Rodri's position to a high level and start alongside him when he's back as a double pivot, which is huge. You guys know I've been saying for basically since this channel was created that we can't have a guy who comes in as a 6 and then expect that to work, because Rodri's going to be back next season and he can't play as a 6 because Rodri's going to play basically every game, and then this guy is going to sign and realize I'm riding bench here. We need someone who can play next to Rodri, which is why Zubamendi probably doesn't work. They don't play together. In the Spanish team, it's one in, one out, typically, from what I've seen at least. So I will open up the rest of this thread here. He's Italian, of course. He is 6 feet tall. He's 24 years old, which fits the age profile perfectly. That's right in line with our young stars with Haaland, Foden, Vardiol. Ruben Diaz is a little bit older than that, but the core of our team that are going to be here for a while are right around that age. Positions, he can play all over the place: left back, DM, center mid. I also think he can play right back. As they say, he is very, very two-footed. Spatial awareness is good. Progressive passing, high work rate, which is something that Pep loves, of course, the high work rate, which is why Bernardo is basically a mainstay in the team at all times. And he can adapt to different situations. Weakness of a long-range distribution and aerial duels. That is a bit of a concern. We are not very physical in the air as a team, especially defensively. That was kind of what Rodri was there for, and without him, we have definitely struggled. If he is the Kyle Walker long-term replacement, I don't know that Kyle Walker had great long-range distribution. So maybe that's a like for like, where the weakness just kind of stays that way. Aerially, Kyle Walker was pretty good. So maybe we lose some quality there. They say he dictates tempo of any football game, which to me just screams that's a Pep Guardiola player. Someone that can dominate the game in the way that Pep wants it to be dominated is, of course, how Rodri plays. But if Cambiaso can do that as well, then awesome. That's something that we will love to see, of course. He's a natural fullback. He gets 2.2 interceptions per 90, which is, of course, something similar to Rodri's stat line, I assume. This is huge right here because standouts are when he's defending transitions. And as everyone who watches Man City this year knows, we are terrible at defending transitions. Even Pep talks about it in his press conferences. When we don't have the ball and the other team's coming at us, we just look like a bunch of under 15s. That's what Bernardo said. Not my words, Bernardo's words. So, improving this area is huge, and I'm sure that's why City are super interested in this player. He's comfortable under pressure, which of course is one of the reasons Calvin Phillips didn't make it and why Mateus Nunes didn't make it in midfield for City. They're uncomfortable under pressure. It's just a fact. It's not me hating on them. I wish both of them had worked out and they were still, Phillips especially, I wish he was still there and he was balling for us, but not the case, unfortunately. He's been an inverted fullback. Pep loves his inverted fullbacks. I don't know if we will see him do that this season. I think if we were to get him in the team, it would probably be a full-on midfielder, at least while Nunes plays the right back and is kind of bombing up the right. That's my guess. Long-term, though, going back to fullback, I would think he would be inverting. Just don't think that would happen this season based on the style we've kind of been implementing. Just a guess, but I could be wrong. Similar to the Rico Lewis type thing. Now, he recycles possession. Again, another huge Guardiola trait. You see a lot of times when we attack, it feels like the other team is kind of boxed in, and we are just recycling the ball, left side toward the middle, right side, looking for areas, looking for lanes to pass it in. So this thread says he's one of the best in the world when playing there, which sounds great to me. Another reason, another plus to get him into the team. Positional versatility, as I mentioned before, he's played all over the defense. He's played in the midfield. He's played on the wing. I mean, the guy he's kind of a machine. Let's see, what else are they saying? He could slot into the Rodri role, which would be great just while we have, Rodri out for the season. But that's most of this thread. I'm very, very excited about Cambiaso, and I won't go through the entire thing because it is rather long. But that's my initial thoughts, especially on Club Brugge, Cambiaso. Maybe the deal doesn't get done until summer, which it would be unfortunate because, like I said, those updates did come out and say that maybe the deal wasn't as far along. But he's not in the squad for tomorrow's game. He's got an ankle injury. And if you remember, with Lons, Kusanov had some illness, and he wasn't in the squad. And in the next couple of days, he was a City player. So remains to be seen. I still think the deal gets done. I think it's helped along if we win tomorrow and qualify because, we're still playing for something in Champions League. And it's a trophy we could theoretically go for and try to win. If we lose, maybe the talks kind of break down a bit, and that would be unfortunate because I think he's City ready. He's made for a Pep system. So with that being said, that's going to be the end of this stream. I do appreciate it. We're just going on 30 minutes here, so not too bad. Pretty good, pretty long. But anybody that stayed around, appreciate it. Leave me a comment. I love talking to people in the comments, or follow me on Twitter, shoot me a DM. Let me know if you want to hop on the channel and talk about City. So I appreciate all the new people as well, of course. Every day I wake up and there's new 5-10 new subscribers, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, City tomorrow, Club Brugge, must win in advance. Come on, City, let's go.